Okay, everybody, so it's about time to get started. So first of all, thank you so much for coming. This is number 4 in our series of 4 webinars. So this is our last one. So thanks for coming to this one and also the 3 previous. So this one is going to be going over how to build interoperable applications for smart cities. And it's going to be presented by Steve Liang. Dr. Steve Liang is a professor at the University of Calgary Department of Geomatics Engineering. He's been working in sensor web for over a decade, and he is the editor of the OGC SensorThings API standard. He's also the founder and CEO of SensorUp, which is a startup company that has implemented the OGC SensorThings standard and actually has the official OGC reference implementation of the standard. So you're going to be getting a talk from an expert in the subject, and I hope that it's really valuable for you. A few housekeeping items. If you want to ask questions, please put them in the Q&A panel, and I see that some of you have already found it, so thank you for that. We're going to get to the questions at the end of the talk. We'll answer them all live then. So if you need to find the Q&A panel, just wiggle your mouse around and a few buttons should appear on the edge of your screen. You'll also see, in addition to the Q&A, a chat panel. Click on that and let us know if you can't hear, if there's any problem or anything like that. And then I am going to be posting in that same chat panel the links to the recording of this and all the webinars, and the link to the slides, and the link to the code examples. So check out the chat panel in a little bit for those links. So that is all the housekeeping items, so I may as well just hand it over to Steve right away to get started on the webinar. Enjoy, guys.
Thank you very much, Coral, and thank you, everyone. I appreciate your time. I know you can spend your time on other things, and but you are here with us, so I really appreciate that, and hopefully I can be useful today. Okay, so today we're going to talk about how to build interoperable smart city applications effortlessly. When I talk about interoperable, that means you can build your smart city applications by using the open standards. Okay, so let's dive into the webinar. I'm an editor of the SensorThings API, so trust me, I know I'm talking about SensorUp. We have the reference implementations. I think we know what we're doing. Okay, so this is the 4th webinar of the series, and today is the final one. The difference between today and the previous 3 is the previous 3, we show you the raw code. So with the vanilla JavaScript, for example, so how to start it from scratch. However, the issue, although SensorThings API is very, very easy to use, however, it can be easier. So if we have some libraries or SDKs to empower you, so you don't need to rewrite those code, but you can just focusing on your applications. That would be very nice, right? So this is today's focus. I will show you some of the tools we developed so that you can do and develop your smart city applications based on OGC SensorThings API and Effortlessly. So I would like to start with this slide is what are we doing here? I mean, IoT, smart cities, or what SensorUp is doing. And then actually, or smart cities. Actually, I would say, when you look at this picture, so what are the things you can see? What do you see from this picture? Actually, there are a lot of information we could see, but we are not seeing right now. And what we are doing is really making the invisible visible. For example, I can easily put these informations: the wind speed, humidity, temperature, particulate matter, radiation dosage, soil moisture, precipitation, even how many deer is passing by. All this information can be very, very useful. How to collect this information? From the sensors. And by combining this information, we can really make innovative applications. So just want to, somehow, I just want to start with this. What we're doing here, you and us, is to making the invisible visible so that we can quantify, because we quantify everything so that we can optimize everything. That's the key value, the true value for smart cities or any IoT applications. And second point, where do you want your development time spent? integrate different data from different sensors? I don't know, because in the past week I talked to a lot of people, and I found I'm sick of it. I mean, they spend so much time to integrate and cleaning the data, and they think that's okay. It's not okay for me. It's, you know what, there are better ways to do it. You don't need to spend the time to integrate these data from different sensor systems. You think that's easy. No, it is not. It's just time consuming. You rather want to spend your time to develop useful applications, and the data should just work for you. So that's just why SensorUp exists, or why OGC SensorThings API exists, right? Okay, so finish the evangelism. I'm just, I couldn't stand those waste of time for that. Okay. So let's dive into libraries. We published and released a OGC SensorThings, a high chart and data table library. It's available at the link at the bottom of the screen. So go check it out. That's one library you can use. But today, we're not going to talk about the library. You can check it out by yourself or visit our webinars in the past. And then today I'll show you more. So the first one is, it's like a recap summary of the past 3 weeks, okay, this month. The first one is Arduino. So we, in the very first webinar, we show you the Arduino code and how to upload data into SensorThings. And it's not that difficult, but today I'm going to show you we can cut the code with at least 75%. So you don't worry about those code. You can simply connect your Arduino or Arduino compatible devices to the SensorThings API. The code is available here. And what do you need today? We will use the Scratchpad, SensorThings Scratchpad as the sandbox server, so we can upload data to Scratchpad. And today we use Arduino IDE. I'm going to show you very shortly. And then the board we are using is a Linky 1 board. It's here, so that's a Linky 1. And then the Linky 1, as you can see, it's very powerful. It has a Wi-Fi. It has even GPS. We're not going to use GPS today. And then there is a shield. So this is for, if you want to save the time to do soldering. And then so you can use this Grove interface to put them together easily. But it costs money. So you don't have to. You can, if you don't mind to solder them by yourself, you don't need to buy these, okay? And any sensor. But today we use a DHT22, so which is a very popular temperature and humidity sensor. Okay, so let's go to the code. Why don't I show you the code of the previous one, so we can compare the difference between the two. So this is the code from previous one. So basically to show you, initialize, this is the connection, initialize the sensor, and initialize the MQTT. And then you need some utility classes, and then loop, initialize Wi-Fi. Okay, so what I want to show is here. So in the previous one, you need to write your own request and response like this. Okay, nothing difficult, but it could be annoying. Okay, so so that'll be nice if we have a library just handle that for you, right? And in the future, handle the versions for you as well. So we don't need to worry about that. Again, doing anything for hardware debugging is quite challenging. Okay, so it's really save your time. And here again, what if we can save those code, right? And how about here? So today, I will show you the library. Actually, basically, we save you like all these. Okay, so let's go to today's sample code. So today's sample code is this. So it's on the GitHub. So I'll go over the code with you, and I'll show you a real demo, okay? So again, here is whatever you need is to initialize the Wi-Fi, and then include the library. And here, you include SensorThings.h. It's our SensorThings Arduino SDK. Initialize this object, SensorThings, and then set up the address for the broker and the server. Okay, these are typical to set up the sensor. Okay. And this is to stop, when you stop your Arduino, and these are the code to stop the Arduino. So let's look at this. So here, initiate the Wi-Fi here. And then here, the library handle the connection for you. You just simply put the client, the server address, and then the broker address, and the port number. So initialize this object. So you connect to the SensorThings. And then the first thing is actually the great thing about this is the previous example we showed you 3 weeks ago, it didn't create, the sensor didn't register itself. And so you need to go to the dashboard and create the entity and relevant metadata by yourself. But in this case, actually, whenever you turn on the sensor, it registers itself to the SensorThings API. So this can be very, very useful, really plug and play, right? So this is to create entities, okay, set up the metadata. I'll show you, actually, you will see it get created. Okay, and here is typical to read the readings. Okay, and here is simply when you need to send the data and to the SensorThings. This is one line of code. That's it. Send it out. Okay, so that's the initialization. So set up the sensor, and here is a loop to keep sending the data. Okay, so here's something is required for the sensor to read the data, and again here is the only code you need is to send the data. So you don't need to write a whole bunch of the messages, right? So this is the only code you need. Okay, and this is utility, right? So set up Wi-Fi. Go over this very, very quickly, but hopefully you can always review the video, right? So let me connect this, go to the IDE. Okay, so that's the code. And then let me, oh, before that, I want to show you one thing. So, not here. Okay. Okay, I want to show you this. The sensor, actually, I'm going to show you the sensor is going to register itself, right? But how do we know? So we can do this. So because SensorThings support MQTT, so when you create any entity, you can get a notification. So here is, I'll show you. So if you go version 1.0/things and you subscribe to it, okay? And whenever there's a new thing get created, you can get a notification. So same thing here. We are not only going to create a thing, but also the data stream. So data streams. Okay, so let's take a look. So when we, later you will see from the console, the thing get created, and hopefully we will see exactly same message here and the exact same ID, okay? Live demo. Okay, so here's the code. And then let me connect to the sensor. Okay, and let me do this. Okay, to make sure the sensor has been connected. Monitor, great. Okay, so you can see now the sensor start connecting itself and it's creating a new thing. So new thing is 117089. So as you can see here, hey, 117089 has been created, right? So you get a notification, right? And data stream get created, okay? And then, so right now it's uploading the observation now, and let's go to our admin dashboard. And then, so look at this thing, 117089, and then get your, get rid of this. Okay, see? So the data, this guy is sending data right now. So hopefully you see it's very, very easy and it's really plug and play, right? The sensor registers itself and then start sending data. So you just need to turn it on and voila, it's done. Everything go with a open standard. You just change the URL and it gets registered to the other service, right? Hopefully this is useful. And you know my room temperature now. Okay, let me unplug this. So that's the first one, demo I would like to show you. And then we have a plan to release this SDK into our Eclipse project called Whiskers. We're working on it. And again, this SDK, we haven't finished everything yet. So we cannot share with you today. Almost there. But if you are interested, let us know. And we can, we can share with you like the alpha version, right? Great. So that's the first thing. Hopefully it's useful, and you can see that's so easy to use. Okay. The second thing, how to build in the past week, I show you how to build a dashboard, visualize, and do some analysis. And for the past 2 weeks, we used our Calgary air quality sensor data. So today was same thing. We'll use that air quality sensors data for today's tutorial. And here's the link for that service. And actually, I want to show you here. As you can see, we have more sensors. So actually, we are keeping adding sensors into Calgary, and so we have at least a couple more. And then we have the, expect to have about 50 end of summer, but depend when do you mean by summer? But we're working on it. Okay, 50 sensors in Calgary, so it'll be very, very nice data set. So we'll use that for our example. Okay, so number 2, we'll show you we have a new charting API. So we show you one, which is the high chart and data table. And today we show you, we think it's an even more flexible, powerful, and in my opinion, it's a more beautiful one. But depends your preference, right? High chart is good too. So that's a SensorThings Chart SDK. And this is very highly customizable. Okay, can you see it? Hopefully. Oh, by the way, thanks to Tanya and David for preparing the Arduino library. And today, thanks to Joseph preparing this very nice interactive exploration, interactive SDK, basically. Okay, so just to show you how easy it is to use. So here is typical, you include the scripts, right? And here is the style. And this is the only thing you need for the HTML, right? So it's a div, and here's a script to set up that. And then this is the code you need. So basically is you generate a chart and your target ID, which is this guy, okay? And you set up your base URL and you set up your data stream ID. Okay, so let's look at the result. You get your chart, okay, because you have data stream. But how about this? It automatically, the chart API, get the required information, metadata, from the SensorThings API. So this is data stream description, okay? And this is the unit of measurement, right? And object property as well. So it just automatically fetch that for you. You don't need to worry about it. The only thing you need to know is the data stream ID. So for example, let's say I change to 3507, and then yeah, it's a data stream right now. It's here changed, right? Just to show you, it's just so easy to use. Okay, so next one. But how about you want to get the data from the previous day? So here you can add in a little bit more configuration, so you can get the previous day. So retrieve all, so get all data from that previous day, and starting if like a range amount 1 and time range D, that means day. So you get the previous day. So that's data from, actually this is the PM 2.5 sensor in my backyard, and in the previous day. Okay, but how about I want previous week? So here, run. You get data from the previous week, right? Hopefully you find it's very, very, very easy to use, right? For example, I want to get the previous 2 or 3 days, right? You can just, very easy to set it up. And then voila, that's the previous 3 days. Yeah. Okay, let's go next one. So this is week. I just show you. So here, so last week. Okay. Okay. And how about, what if you don't like the label here? Okay, and you can also customize by yourself. So here is, for example, in the title, you can put by yourself, and here is you can fetch the JSON from the service. We send the request, right? That's the JSON. So access to the description, and here's the y-axis label. You access the unit measurement and the symbol, right? Unit measurement and symbol. Okay, so that's the basically give you a compared to our high chart library, this one give you a more flexibility to customize the chart. How about multi-series? And so you can want one chart with multiple data streams. Very easy. Here is you simply put data streams in an array, and you get your multiple data stream in one chart. Okay, and then so that's my data stream. Of course, it's you provide some functions like this, right? You can zoom in, zoom out, and yeah. So hopefully you get my idea. We want you to spend more time to analyze your data, to develop your application, rather than writing those code to get data from 3 different systems, right? Okay. Next one, multi-axis. So if you get the data stream, 3 data streams, but they are different. User has a different observed properties, so that's how you can use it, right? So something like that. So you can have this. So of course you need more code for this, but just a little bit. Again, same data stream. So that's an array, and here you can do the layout here. Okay, and here is how you set up the y-axis here. Okay. Next one. Scatter chart. Actually, we found this is very interesting. Sometimes the line chart doesn't make much sense, but scatter chart actually you can see more about the trend. So this is scatter chart. So similarly, the only thing difference is you set up here. The mode becomes marker mode, and the size of the marker becomes 2. So very easily to switch to a scatter chart. So next one, we can also do a time offset here. So pick a different time zone. In SensorThings, support ISO time, right? But in most cases, in our cases, it's a UTC. But sometimes you want to do this for your local time zone, right? So here you have a generated chart, and then we have a processor. So the processor do the time offset, and then you get your Eastern time, for example, in this case. Okay. This is very useful, huh? Trust me. Okay, big chart. So big one, a bigger chart. So here is how can you set up the size, the margin for your chart, so you can really design this according to what you want, right? The border and the background color depends on for your dashboard application, for example. Okay, next one, basic bar chart. Maybe sometimes you don't want a line chart or a scatter chart, you just a bar chart. So this can be useful as well. And especially for precipitation, right? Precipitation, you use bar chart as the visualization. So yeah, so simply you just change the chart type into bar chart. Done, voila. Okay, next one. You can summarize by hour. So you can summarize them. So every bar is an hour. So represent an hour. So here we have an observation processor in this code, and then simply you just set up your processor here. So here is summarized by time unit. Summarized by time unit. In this case, is summarized by hour, and the summary type is min. And for example, if I go to day, hopefully it'll work. Yeah, so you get your date. Okay, so summarize by day, for example. Hopefully you see how easy it is to use. Yeah, we spend a lot of time to design this. So bar chart with color, so you know the higher, and it's you can visualize it's dangerous or not, green light, yellow light, or red light. So here is you can summarize by the color, and then here, of course, here you need to set up your color, right? So here is how you set up your the color for your chart and domain. So for this from 0 to 12.1, that's this color, and so on and so forth. Okay, and this is how you visualize it by color. And we have more. You can merge data streams here. For example, here, I'll show you example. This is one data stream. This is the other data stream. And this merge the two. So you can see here on this data stream, we don't have here, but on this data stream, you have here. Okay, this is one example. And you can merge and summarize as well. Basically, this is the combination of the previous functions where I show you, but it can show you the flexibility of this charting library, right? So this is combined. This is southwest and northwest. Okay, and this should be the average. Okay. And also, to make you a pie chart or bar chart to summarize is very, very easy as well. So here, it shows you how to do some analysis here. And here's the code to do that. Okay. So a lot of code actually to set up the color and yeah, the color, and what do we mean by this? The label, right? But to load the chart itself is very, very simple. So hopefully we cover actually in here, we cover both the flexibility as well as the simplicity. So that the audience for this, target audience for this library is really the developers. Okay, and finally, so this is the time temporal query. So we can query. So for example, we want the data a week before this date and time. Okay, so fairly simple. So a week before that. This is this. Okay. Finally, with a means and median. So this is shows you that some analytics capability piece of this library. So here, basically, the two charts. We have the processor. So processor allow you to do the means and the median. Okay, for that. So summary type here. Okay. So this is like very fast overview of this API, and then we will release it very soon in the future. We're still working on it, and then also not only the charting library, actually this STA chart library will also include a mapping library, so allow you to use a map to visualize it into one library. So please stay tuned. Hopefully that can be useful to you. And again, if you're interested testing our library, email us. Okay, it will be we can discuss how can we make it available for you, and you can help us to develop it. Finally, we have this SensorThings browser. So this is a demonstrate to see that it's a map browser, allow you to grab data from different SensorThings and adding them into a map, and then without worrying the code, right? So it's a dashboard in a way, but we call it browser because you can browse what's going on in this using a mapping and the dashboard environment. Okay, and then I can show you. And thanks to Mariam for developing this. So here's a SensorThings browser. So the browser, so that means you can add in more. So not only one, you can add in multiple SensorThings. So similarly to like a web mapping API, you can add in like leaflet, right? You can add one WMS and second WMS, right? From layers from different WMS, web mapping service. And here is we can do that too. So you just simply enter your URL over there. But today we use an example because we have a very nice data set from the Calgary air quality. So we click View Map here, and then so we have 11 sensors here, and we can zoom in. So that's the default view. So you can see the location of the sensor or the fin. I would say the fin. Okay, so each dot is a fin, and the readings from these fins, right? And not only actually, it not only support like a dot. As you can see, I have two sensors in my backyard, and so that's support a polygon as well, right? And there are two different sensors. Yeah, one is the Airbox from Edimax. The other one is our own AirQ. Okay. But however, it's more powerful than that. It allows you to choose different views. So we have a fin view. So on the map, you show fins, and each fin has different data streams, right? But we can also say, okay, I only want to see PM2.5, for example. So observe property view. So let's say I want to show only PM2.5 on the map, and I add this to map. And then what I'm going to show you, the map you will see is. What you will see is a this only show you the PM2.5 now. Oh, let me make it. Okay, it will only show PM2.5 now. Okay, so every dot on the map becomes PM2.5. Okay, that's observe properties view. So for example, I can remove it, and I change to temperature view. So right now, what you see is temperature, for example. Yeah, at temperature 15.3, temperature 15.1. Okay, so hopefully it also shows you it's very powerful for SensorThings, and we are able to present different views, right? And for 28, that's in the office, I guess. It's not outside. Yeah, to present you different views. And we have the other view, which is sensor view. So for example, I want to see all the readings from DHT22 sensor. I add it to the map. And then here, what you can see is you only see the data from DHT22, okay? But you don't see other data from other sensors. Yeah, so that's the other view. Okay, clear map. Okay. So hopefully it shows you our SensorThings browser and then its capability. Of course, it has a chart. We can show the chart as well. Let me find the sensor, remove this. Let me see the thing view. Okay, great. Okay. And then you can see, okay, all the things listed here, for example. But also on the map, you can see the different things. For example, here and here. Okay. And you click on it. You get your the chart as well. So hopefully it shows you a the idea. This is a browser allow you to browse in the SensorThings with different views: a map view, a thing view, an observed properties view, and a sensor view. And these are provided. The different views can be easily provided from a SensorThings API and integrated into your GIS easily. Okay, so hopefully this will interest you as well. Any feedback, we welcome any feedback. So that's the third thing. So hopefully I show you 3 different things, and you can really build your interoperable smart city application effortlessly. This is the last webinar we have, and in the next 2 weeks I'll be in Korea and in Spain to teach SensorThings. So if you happen to be in Korea or in Spain, and feel free to let me know. Beer on me, okay? And enjoy the rest of your summer.
All right, so we do have a question already. First one is, given that SensorThings API is O&M, that's observation and measurement, are there plans to expand the capability of the API to accommodate control?
So great question. Actually, the immediate next step for SensorThings API is control. And we will be designing the control based on, we don't reinvent the wheel, okay? So it will be based on the proven working OGC sensor planning service. So actually we scheduled the time in the coming OGC TC meeting. So it's September, I think, September when? September 19th at 8:15 a.m. and the standard working group will be discussing that. So it's coming. It was supposed to finish that very, very soon. Okay, so control is coming, definitely. Good question.
So thank you for that. That was a good question. If you guys have any more questions, if you think of them while you're answering the poll, please feel free to put them in the Q&A panel.
So the questions is, does SensorThings API support moving sensors? Yes, it supports moving sensors. Actually, I think we showed a demo in the past. But if you go to the SensorUp YouTube channel, you can see some demos. So see dots moving around with the first responders moving around. So it supports moving sensors for sure. The second question. Where can we find the links to test the SensorThings browser? It's great we see some people are interested. Email us and then we can discuss because we haven't finished it yet. So email us. We'll share with you. Okay. And then we do plan to have more webinars in fall. We'll be keep doing this. And so if any topic interests you, and let us know.
Thanks so much for coming to all of these, guys. We really appreciate it. Make sure you check out the recording, slides, and code examples. The links are in the top of the chat panel there. And feel free to share them widely. Share them with whoever you think might be interested.
Thank you very much. Bye.